Welcome in. We all die twice. Once, when our heartbeat stops and our blood runs cold. And once again, when somebody utters our name for the last time. This expression isn't too uncommon. Used fairly often, especially in the YouTube space. But why? Why is this such a popular thing? And this is going to be a very existential video, just a warning. But why do we all fear the second ending more than the first? Why are we all so afraid of the second one? So afraid, in fact, that the first becomes a simple afterthought of trying to achieve the second. It's something I myself have pondered for far more times than I probably should have. I've very much so come to my own conclusion. But of course, I do not account for everyone. And in a way, everybody does have their own finality. Everybody has their own different end goal. Mine may be different than yours, and yours may be different than whoever else you may think of. But we all fear that second death so much. It almost becomes the point of our lives. In most cases, it does. So many people throw away comfort, throw away dignity even, just to be remembered. Take people for an extreme example, Adolf Hitler. He was a terrible person, but his second death is nowhere in sight. We give some of these people power by remembering them in this sense. That's the only reason that we have neo-Nazis, is because we remember Hitler and we talk about him. He hasn't had that second death. He and his ideals are still just as much alive right now as they were whenever he first stated them, whenever he was first brought into power, whenever he was born. And so many people who strive their entire lives to find a cure to this second ending spend their lives in vain. So many people, so many tombstones, faceless, just rocks in the woods, covered in vines, forever forgotten. I even wrote a couple short stories on this, because it's just such a human thing. We all fear our second ending. But how can we prevent it? And I'm not saying do horrible things, because most people who do horrible things are forgotten. But especially in the age of the internet, that second death, although it's increasingly present in our minds, it's almost just as much as increasingly easy to avoid. The term that your teachers would always threaten you with, oh, the internet's forever. Nothing gets truly deleted, almost becomes a comfort phrase when put in this context. It stops becoming about you wanting to, not do something embarrassing on TikTok or whatever it is. It becomes something about, what if I do the embarrassing TikTok dance? So at least then, someday, People will be looking through the old archives of the TikTok videos or whatever the situation may be, and they might remember me. They might pay attention to my name. They might watch my video and say, "Oh, that's a cringe clip from 2020, ha ha ha." We all subconsciously want that in a way that's just so powerful. We don't want to be forgotten. We yearn to prevent that second death. But why now does that second death even have to exist? We have so many powerful tools online. We have so many outlets to reach towards other people and, more importantly, towards the future. But no matter how much you fight, the tides of time will always rip away your memory. Sure, some guy may be curious in the history of TikTok and see your cringe TikTok dance. But will that ever hold the significance to them that it once did to you? Will it ever really inspire the other person like you wanted it to? Would you truly be remembered or just clicked on one more time? It's an interesting philosophical question we haven't really had to explore as a race until recently. Whenever things like TikTok, Vine gain popularity. In a case where we can be remembered and forgotten simultaneously. And that, in some ways, can be even worse. Just as one of my biggest philosophies is, if I can choose to live forever without my mind, or die right here, I will always choose the latter. Because, sure, you may be remembered by your TikTok dance, but will that ever hold meaning to anybody else? Will your ideas ever truly be remembered? Will what you were trying to accomplish be remembered? Your personality will not be encapsulated by that. And that's why I urge everybody to do videos like these. They're not hard, you just hit record, and then you just ramble into a microphone. And it's just such a cementing tool. Because this isn't a cringe TikTok dance. This is my beliefs, the things I ponder on, stated for the future, if it ever makes it there. So that has been this video. I really enjoy making this type of content, and I know most people have been really enjoying watching this type of content. And realistically though, it's not about you guys enjoying, it's about you guys truly thinking. So, I always like to end with these, a couple questions to get you thinking. You can answer these in the comments, or you can keep those thoughts with you. But I know you want to be remembered. And the question isn't if anymore, but how do you want to be remembered? So again, if you like content like this, like and subscribe. If you don't want to do either of those though, there is a playlist containing all of these videos. You can check that out. And that has been me. I'll see you guys in the comment section.